Hello everybody, I'm out for my daily exercise. I'm going to walk a mile today and I started looking at the trees and I wanted to tell you about two different types of trees. There are deciduous trees which lose their leaves in the winter, change colour in the autumn, lose their leaves in the winter, and then there's also evergreen trees, and I found two evergreen trees here. This is a Scots pine. I can tell because it's got these really sharp needles and the little pine cones on the end. That keeps its leaves, so it's evergreen. And then another one over here, which you'll be able to tell from you'll know from the forest, which is, I bet you can say, that's right, it's holly. And you can tell because they've got these really shiny, thick leaves, very, very spiky on the ends as well. On my walk, I'm going to try and find some deciduous trees that have lost their leaves and are starting to get their leaves again because it's springtime. So I'll see you again in a moment. Now, I've got to my favourite tree that I pass on my daily walk. And it's my favourite tree because it's really, really old. I know it's really old. What can you say? Why I know it's really old? Because this part of the tree, oh, it's very bright there, is called the, anybody know? Trunk. The trunk of the tree. And the trunk of the tree is really, really wide. It's so wide, I don't think I could get my hands around it. Wait a minute and I'll try. Right, let me try. Oh no, I can't get my hands around it at all. Look how wide it is. I wonder how many metres that would be. How many Mrs. Dunbar would it take to get round the tree? I'm going to show you how to identify what type of tree this is by looking for clues. Now down underneath I can see that this is a deciduous tree because there are still a few leaves left from where they've fallen in the autumn. A bit broken and very brown, but there's also some of these seeds as well. Now I'm thinking people who've been to the forest with me will know what type of tree this is because we've got these nuts underneath. Squirrels are probably eating them all. But I'm just looking now and I can see that the leaves are starting to come out on here, so we'll go and have a look at the leaves now. I can't quite reach these leaves, but I can see that they've got little brown bits coming out at the end. And if we go close up on, you can see that they've got ridges here and they're quite pointed. I wonder if you know the name of this tree. There's quite a few of them in our forests at school and they're really big. Did you get it? It's a beech tree. Just look at this tree. This tree is beautiful. It has the most amazing blossom on it. Beautiful and pink. And it drops to the floor like confetti. I'm actually near a church. It looks like there's been a wedding. It has really soft leaves. And the bark is often quite red around it. This tree is a cherry tree, but it doesn't tend to have fruit and you certainly can't eat it, so it's called an ornamental cherry. You might spot cherry trees while you're out on your daily walk. Now on my walks as well I pass many hedgerows, and this tree here forms a lot of hedgerows. And this is called a hawthorn. A hawthorn. On there you might get some sharp prickly bits, so if you find hawthorn, be very careful because there will be some sharp bits on there, but it provides a lot of cover for birds, and it has this lovely white blossom that my mum calls May blossom because it usually comes out in May, and it is nearly May, but then it will have some berries on and the birds love to feed on the berries that's on there. There you go. It's mixed in with some, you can see it there, you know what that is? Holly. The hawthorn is a deciduous tree. It will lose its leaves in the winter time and the leaves change colour in autumn. But of course it's spring now and the leaves are back on. I'm standing underneath this tree and you can see the parts of the tree here. If I get close, you can see where the roots of the tree are just starting to come up above the ground. And then if I move up this part of the tree, it's called, give you a moment to say it, the trunk. And the trunk is covered in bark. This bark is almost peeling away, you can see there. And then we go up into the top, you can see branches and the leaves on the tree, and the top of the tree is called the crown. Now this tree is really interesting because it's actually got, you can see them, some flowers growing on. There. Now this tree has hanging leaves, you see there, hanging leaves that are really quite large. When those flowers disappear in the autumn, you get something really special. This tree is a horse chestnut tree, and in the autumn you'll get conkers. I love the shape of this tree. I think it looks like a tree that you could have drawn. You can see the trunk really clearly, the crown at the top, and then you can see the branches and the leaves. This tree is a hornbeam tree. I know because I know the shape of it, but I also know because I'm going to go and have a look at the leaves, if I can reach the leaves. They're really small and bright green, and they have lots of ridges on them. This is a hornbeam tree. Maybe you can have a go at drawing a tree that looks like a hornbeam tree. Now it's your turn. If you go on a daily walk, go and find some leaves and see if you can identify them. Or perhaps you can make a collection and you can take a photo and you could email it to me. Try and see if you can find out what the leaves are. Or you could draw a picture of a tree. Have a look at some of the trees that you can see from your window. See if you can label the tree, the parts of the tree, like the crown and the bark and the trunk, and the branches and the leaves and the roots. And then email your pictures to year1@bluecoatfederation.co.uk.